Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. I'd like to welcome Aloe Blacc to our Hour of Code Tech Chat. Aloe is a successful recording artist, best known for performing the vocals
put it on this one or not?
on Avicii's Wake Me Up. Aloe also is passionate about technology and teaches students about digital compression in one of Code.org's curriculum videos. So everybody, please give me a big, warm welcome to Aloe Blacc. All right.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? It's good to see you, and I'm glad I had a chance to talk to you guys and answer some questions.
We're so happy you can be here today, Aloe. So our first question comes from Jordan's class in Oakland.
Good afternoon. I'm Michelle, and I'm a junior at Casino High School in Oakland, California. I am a district co-champion, and I participate in Smash, where I learned computer science. I started coding at the age of 14, so I'm wondering, when was the first time you heard about computer science?
The first time I heard about computer science, I was about 6 years old. My dad bought a Commodore 64 computer and used to bring home magazines that taught people who had these early computers how to build them themselves, but they also had code so that the adults could teach their kids how to do like really simple and fun designs in the computer. So I was really young when I learned about it, just because my dad was sort of geeky and into that stuff.
Awesome. Great to hear it. Our next question comes from Adam's classroom in Vancouver, Washington. I see we've got a big heart poster for Aloe. Thanks, guys.
Hi, my name is Parkin12, and my question is, how have you seen technology change the music industry, and what role do you see it having in the future?
Technology has changed the music industry in a lot of ways, one of which is the distribution method. When I first started making music, I was selling cassettes, and then I was selling vinyl, and I was selling CDs. But nowadays, it's very infrequent that someone purchases a CD or a cassette or vinyl. Now, music is distributed through the internet, and so we've gone from a physical world to a streaming world and a digital download world. That has been the most dramatic change I've seen in the music industry. Another huge change has been the technology we use to make music. When I was growing up, I joined the school band and I played the trumpet. But when I started actually writing music and producing music, I was no longer using instruments. I was using computers and beat machines. So technology's had multiple has affected the music business in multiple ways.
Thanks for sharing how music is changing thanks to technology, Aloe. Our next question comes from Lawrence's class, and they're actually local to us in Seattle.
Hi, my name is Elena from Girls Who Code at Ingram, and we were wondering if you could create an application to make your life easier, what would it be and why?
An application that would make my life easier would be a songwriting application. If I could just press a button and the song would be written already and all I had to do was sing it, that would be awesome. I actually met a guy in Boulder, Colorado, who was working on a program that could mimic and model any artist's style. And he said that he had basically built this computer learning system to mimic and model even my style. So his computer basically could write a song in my own way. I mean, in my own style. Hopefully he doesn't try to compete with me in the marketplace. That would be crazy.
Very cool to hear about that. We're going to go to Meredith's classroom in Portland, Oregon.
Hi, I'm here from
High School in Portland, Oregon. We were wondering what you attribute your success today, and was it a skill, class, mentor, or life experience, or all of them?
I would attribute it to, number one, a skill. So when I was in high school is when I started recording. I started writing lyrics when I was 9 years old, writing rap lyrics because I thought I was going to be a rapper. But singing eventually was the way that I was able to break into the music industry. But because I've been writing lyrics for so long, from age 9 up until I got signed to my first recording deal at age 25, I had about 16 years of experience. And there are some theorists who say if you dedicate 10,000 hours to anything, you can become a master at it. And because I had dedicated so much time to songwriting, I believe that skill, I would attribute skill to my success today, but I think it's also just finding the right mentors and the people who can support my career. I've had a lot of great people offer me opportunities that have been tremendous help to my career.
Awesome. It's so inspiring when we hear people say that, you know, often the biggest key to success is just practice and continuing to do something for a long time until you really get good at it. For our last question, we're going to go to Evergreen High School.
Hi, my name is Elvira Khan, and I'm from Evergreen Valley High School's Girls Who Code. My question is, what inspired you to go into music, and what advice do you have for other aspiring musicians?
Well, I was inspired to make music because it helped me channel my creative energy, and I had been doing it for so long that it was just my hobby. I ended up going to the University of Southern California after high school, and after my college experience, I went to work as a business consultant. And all during that time, I continued to make music because it was just my passion. It's something that I love to do, even though it wasn't my day job. Eventually, what happened was I lost my job, I got laid off, and as I contemplated going back to school to get a master's or a PhD, or going back to the workforce to find another job, I just continued to make music, and positive things started happening, and I never had to look for another job. And I think you know, it's pretty lucky that I was able to do this, but I'm really glad that I went through school and I finished school and I got that experience and all of the education that I have, because it helps me to do the business that I do now.
Awesome. So to top off our chat, we're just going to welcome in Maddie, who's our social media whiz, and she's taken a few questions from people who are watching live on Twitter.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here. So first we have a tweet from Caitlin from Nashville, Tennessee, and she wants to know, Aloe, what inspired you to make your own website, and how long did it take you to learn how to build it?
What inspired me was a class that I was taking at the University of Southern California, at USC. This is back in 1997. I took Principles of Net class, and we all had to create our own website. So it didn't take very long to figure it out, and it was all, for me, just basic HTML. Plus, we had some, you know, graphic user interface tools. Back then, it was like Netscape was our browser, and Netscape also had a web authoring platform, so you could create your website in a graphical environment without having to do all the code, and that made it a lot easier. But that was what inspired me. It was basically a class, and it didn't take very long, maybe a couple weeks.
That's awesome. I bet all the kids are really excited to hear about that it didn't take very long to figure out, and it's very inspiring.
Right.
All right. Gabrielle from Miami, Florida wants to know, what are your favorite apps or technology inventions?
Favorite apps, technology inventions. I love right now, my favorite technology invention is 360-degree camera. I don't know how much of you are familiar with this new format of video, but on YouTube you can watch videos in 360. And I found a company called Gyroptic that makes a 360 camera because I was just so interested in it. I want to be able to tell stories, not just through music, but visually as well. And when I went to TED in Vancouver, Canada, in February, I had a chance to view a documentary that was done in a Syrian refugee camp, and it was in 360. I was wearing the Samsung Gear VR, and I was transported to the Syrian refugee camp, which basically humanized the issue. It's no longer just people over there that are suffering. I'm now in the shoes of a 13-year-old Syrian refugee girl who's narrating her story, and that really impressed me. And I thought this new technology, this 360 video, this VR world, can be used for education and delivering messages of empathy and compassion.
That's fantastic. Thanks so much for sharing. That's all the questions we have on our end. Could everybody join me in giving Aloe a great big round of applause? Thank
you.
Thank you, Aloe, for joining us, and thank you so much to the classrooms for participating today.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.